Hi, everyone. Get ready for the How I Raised It podcast, the show where you get an inside, unfiltered look at how real entrepreneurs raise capital for their businesses. We'll listen to their stories, their successes, and the challenges they had to overcome to get to where they are now. I'm your host, Nathan Beckard, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode with Marie Tor of Graffiti, a startup based in France that makes an augmented reality shopping assistant. If you're tuning into this podcast to learn how to raise capital for your business, I've created a super valuable free welcome package for you. It includes a list of 2,500 investors who don't require a warm intro, plus 200 of the most important questions that investors are going to ask you. And this will really help you get prepared so you can really rock your fundraise. Click the link in the first comment below to get access. It's free, and you will be truly ready to pitch with confidence with these resources. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this conversation and think someone else would too, please share it with them and then hit that subscribe button so you can get all our latest episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the chat with Marie.
Welcome to How I Raised It, the podcast that goes behind the scenes with entrepreneurs who've raised capital. We uncover the tips, tricks, and techniques they use to get investors to write a check. Strap in and turn it up.
Hi, welcome to another episode of How I Raised It, produced by Foundersuite.com. Today I have Marie Tor of Graffiti.ai coming to us from Marseille, France. Probably just horrible accent, but close enough?
Close enough. Thank
you.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Great. Well, nice to have you. How's Marseille these days? Are things like kind of coming back to normal there, or what? What's going on there?
I think that the lockdown is gonna end in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. So yes, everything is slowly coming back to normal. We hope so, because it's difficult being locked like that. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, good luck. Fingers crossed for that. Things are getting back to normal here in California pretty nicely. So let's hope it continues, right?
Yeah, right.
Excellent. Well, what is Graffiti.ai? Tell us what you guys do.
Yeah, so Graffiti is the company, and we are building an app which is called Reeveal. So Reeveal is a shopping assistant, a kind of unique shopping assistant, because it recognizes the objects you're looking at today with your smartphone, but tomorrow with your smart glasses, the augmented reality glasses, and it displays the most wanted information like price, health, ecology, quality, in a very readable way. In kind of the blink of an eye in augmented reality. That's right, we do.
Interesting. So I will hold my phone up or eventually see it through my glasses. I'm looking at a product in a store, and it's just going to kind of, is it scanning the QR code or barcode or something, or how is it telling me what it is?
No. Actually, we are working on technology, on algorithm, which allows to recognize thing packaging and even just things around you, like clothes or a banana or wine bottle, obviously, as far as we are French. So
yes, of course.
Kind of important for us. So wine bottle, and we are recognize it with our algorithm, and then we have that every information you need as a user that pops just in front of you.
And is it just information, or are you taking the transaction too, or kind of handling the transaction? What's the...
No, today we are really just displaying information, but we are working to have a price comparison, to have couponing also on the app. And I think we think that the next step is going to be how we can deal with the whole transaction to ease the consumer way path.
So you've been around 2 years. How much have you guys raised, and how many rounds?
So I think that in France, we call it first round of love money. It was a little bit more of 100K. And now we begin, here we call it a seed round, with a safe, and we have already secure 450K.
Okay.
And we need 650K. Yeah.
Did you say that first round in France is called blood money?
Love money.
Love money. Love money.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
It's not love money. I don't know. I mean, because sometimes in the USA they say that it's very early stage. We don't even call the round we are reaching right now is not for you in the USA is not a seed round. It's barely a very early stage round. So I know that you may call the future round the seed round, actually.
Yeah, gotcha. So it's kind of like friends and family. Is that the probably closest equivalent?
Exactly.
That's the love.
Exactly. That's the love.
Love money. I've never heard that. That's interesting. So talk about, putting this round together, and I believe it's all French investors. So maybe just describe what it's like to, raise money in France. What's the startup investor ecosystem look like? How do you kind of crack into it? You tell your story.
Yeah. Yes. In fact, there is something very important that is our way. It's because we are the team that failed before. So many people in the ecosystem, in the French ecosystem, knew about us. They know that we are an experimented team, that we are that kind of wisdom we learned from previous fail. So I think that it was a starter. It was what allowed us to be recognized by a certain kind of business angels. And then I think that business angels know each other. They know that what kind of people will invest in that kind of project. They know who are the techie ones, who love tech, who love algorithm. So it's a constant referral. When business angels is satisfied with what we are doing, because we inform them along the way. And in fact, we use Foundersuite for that. I am sending my little updates. That's very,
awesome.
very nice. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. I put some images and text, and it's easier. And when they can send easily the link to others, saying, okay, I invested that a few months ago, and they are delivering what they say they will deliver. So it goes with the flow. There is new investors like that. And sometimes it's just out of the blue, I'm making cold calls because I know that it's the difficult one, because you have a lot of no, a lot of critics, sometimes very hard. It's my first time as a CEO.
Yep.
So I wasn't very used to that. Sometimes at the beginning it's what kind of difficult, but right now I'm perfectly used to it, so I can handle.
That's good. It gets a little easier, right? After that first 100, after the first 100 no's, I think it gets easier.
Right.
Interesting. So that's great. So you're good for you. Thank you for using Foundersuite, first of all. And you're doing a pretty regular update, which then some of your investors are sharing with other angels, which is pretty cool. Two questions. How often do you do the update? And do you actually ask these angels to share your updates? Is that something you specifically ask for?
I ask them sometimes. I say, okay, I have a little, just little sentences at the end of each update, which is called "How you can help us."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So each time it's follow us on LinkedIn, share our news, share these updates, share that kind of, share everything, and open your network to us. So yes, maybe I ask them. And as far as the updates are concerned, I think that sometimes is every 3 months I'm sending a new update. But I'm very close to my business angels, and most of the time I add them by phone or by mail. So and they know each other, so they call each other to say, "Oh, I know that Graffiti is having that kind of trouble. Maybe can you fund them?" Or, "Oh, Graffiti was in that kind of newspaper. It was a great article. Read it." So there is that casual circulation of the information between them.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's good. How many angels are on your cap table? Do you have a large pool, or yeah?
A very large pool. We are 27, so it's a very big pool of business angels for such an early stage startup. But in that, the difficulty we have is that we do research and developments, so it's kind of difficult for us to show what we do. It's algorithm, so it's not something like brick and mortar, you know.
Yep.
And we have no metrics right now, so it just they believe in us, they believe in our team, and they believe in the project. But it's difficult for them to commit with a big engagement.
Yeah, interesting. So 27 angels, that's a lot. How long did it take you to raise that? And did you get, how did it play out? Did you get a couple guys and gals that sort of said yes, and then that spread through their network, or did you have to just close 27 angels one by one kind of thing?
I had to close one by one.
Yep.
Even if I was referred to by another angels, I have to call and to explain and to convince. Because of that, I think because we are so early stage that there is a lot of risks for a new business angel. So yes, and it took me more than a year because of the pandemic, of course. I began to raise in January 2020.
Good timing. Yep.
Perfect timing, actually. And I'm still raising 200K. But as far as we are close to the end, it's getting easier to raise. But I have to, during the first lockdown, during 2 months, well, actually 3 months, I cannot raise at all because every business angels were preoccupied with their own company.
Yep.
We have most of them are entrepreneurs themselves, so they have many concerns, many issues, how to deal with work at home and things like that. So it was kind of a panic for everyone.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask that if these are a lot of French entrepreneurs coming from tech, and any tips for, if you were giving advice to some other French entrepreneur, first time female founder, or choose whatever, how would you tell her to sort of navigate and crack into the French angel world? Because that seems like it'd be challenging, What tips would you have?
I do that, actually. I help other people with their own company right now. I'm having regular phone calls with 2 women who are launching their own company and who are raising funds too. I have several advices. Don't be afraid of no.
Yeah, sure.
It will come very regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you should be patient and go on.
Yep,
That's
sure.
my main advice. Also, say yes to everything. That my co-founders laughed at me because my favorite movie is Yes Man with Jim Carrey. It's
Okay.
not he has some kind
Oh
of
yeah, he's
you
got
know
like a curse on him or something where he has
yes,
to say it. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. He has to say yes to everything.
Uh-huh.
And I say yes to everything that includes conferences about the blockchain, to a table with the local entrepreneurs, with that kind of association,
Yep.
who are. I say yes to every place I could teach. And that's very important because sometimes I have some stories about that. In fact, I said yes to go to a kind of conference where I had to speak about the project, and it was a very local thing with other entrepreneurs, but in very different areas, with very different topics. One owned a garage with cars, with Porsche, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Another was consulting for digital marketing, things like that. And I just have to do 1 hour speech with them. And at the end, I knew that they weren't investing in my company, but one of them talked to me at the end, and he said that maybe 2 friends of him could be interesting. I
Okay.
raised 60K with them,
Cool.
with his 2 friends.
Yeah.
And that's very fun, but it's true. When you say yes to everything, when you're very open to things, and you have that kind of serendipity which is
Mm-hmm.
playing, and I don't know, there is something really good happening.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you can go on the internet and find 1,000 blog posts about why to be a successful founder you should say no to everything. But then you can also find arguments, maybe as many arguments about what you just said. Being open to stuff can lead to this serendipity, and I found that to be true with Foundersuite for sure. Just random people I meet at a cocktail party or at a launch demo conference or whatever end up, helping out. So anyway, that's good. That's interesting. You mentioned before the call, kind of the difference between raising money and raising smart money, and how that's sometimes created conflicts with co-founders or disagreements. Maybe talk about that.
Yes, it's the only time when I say no is to money that I can feel it's not a right fit for us. Maybe another advice for those who are raising would be careful and listen to your guts sometimes. Be intuitive. Because when you feel that people are not a good fit for you, sometimes when you are in difficult situation, you are tempting to say yes, come in and give me your money and you will. But giving money is also giving a part of your company.
Sure.
And you will be married with that kind of guys. And if it's not the right fit right now, it will not be the right fit. Not now. No.
Yeah.
Never. So that's very important. And I know that my co-founders, especially one, I know he will listen to that podcast. So he's always saying, take the beep money. And I know that is not a good way to react. So sometimes I say no, and they say, you say no? You say no? Yes, I say no. And I pass.
Was it ever? Was it ever something specific that the investor did or said, or was it just a gut feel like this person's going to be hard to work with, or, what are the red flags for you? Yeah.
The red flags. I don't really know like that. I'm thinking about people I said no to. Sometimes a little bit disrespectful, but it's details, just being very late, or looking at you like you are 12 years old. You know, that's crazy, or being very contemptuous. I don't know. There is something about attitude, or being over controlling. Sometimes people want to control your company, and that's very stressful feeling to have. So yeah, it's very intuitive. I don't really know how to describe that. But just a gut feeling, right? That's why it makes my co-founder so angry sometimes, because I cannot say why. I cannot explain, just and some gut feeling. And I know that they are locked in their offices or at their home, and they will not deal with the business angels. I said yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say yes. So yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I agree with you though. Like there has to be I've had that too, where it's just like someone doesn't feel right, and you just have to trust that, even if it looks good on paper and everything else. It's just because if you get in those situations and that person, is now controlling or creating problems for you, or has a different vision, now that $25,000 check becomes this like huge problem, and you're not sleeping very well because you're always thinking about your arguments with that person, right? Like, for a small amount of money, they can be a huge pain in the side. So anyway, I agree with you is what I'm trying to say.
We created such a good symbiosis with our business angels. There is a really good harmony in that group. So I don't want to break that.
Yeah. One last question or so. So you've got 27 angels. You're doing the updates to them. Do you get them to help out with the business in any other ways, or are you doing any? Because that's a pretty large number of angels. How else are you activating them or leveraging them?
I'm always asking them advices, and I'm always consulting them. And I know when I'm dealing with a specific issue, I know the business angels I'm going to call, because I know them very well at the end. I know them for almost 2 years. The business angels, the new one, I'm beginning to learn to know them. But I know what kind of advices, and what are the field of expertise. So when I'm, for instance, we've been thinking on about the business model, and we are working on B2B business model. And I know exactly what kind of business angels I want to ask for advice. I want to have some feedbacks, and I just call them. I send my updates, and then I have their. Sometimes they spontaneously they send me back just after my updates. They send me back some advice by mail.
Yeah.
Sometimes call me. I have the right person for you. I have a right brand for you. It's a friend. He launched his friends, and you will work with him. So
cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Last question. Do you think you'll raise money? Are you going to stay in France, or will you go look at Silicon Valley money or other outside of Europe, or the rest of Europe? How do you think about your future fundraise?
I would love to raise abroad. In fact, we have a partnership with Dutch Telecom, and we made some interviews, and we've been seen in Germany. And I have 2 German business angels who are very interested in what we're doing. So we are following up. Let's see. But yeah, I would be very interesting, of course. Before the pandemic, I have been 2 times in the USA, once in Silicon Valley and then in New York, to see where I can raise, where I can have a business unit, because we are going to be live in the USA and in France. So,
Okay.
and we know that because of a previous experience we have with another application 3 years ago, we know for sure that the USA will be our first country of acquisition. We know that there is something about spreading. I don't know how to say it, but I know that it's going so fast. The users are telling each other that you have to download that, and it's going to be very, very fast there. So I know that we are going to be a business unit soon. Hope so.
Yeah, cool. Well, let me know when you're here in Silicon Valley. We can get together. If people want to learn more, it's Graffiti.ai. And is there anything you want to mention or plug, or anything at all?
Yeah, you can contact me on my LinkedIn. It's Marie Tors, Tors. And you can also check the other website, which is Reeveal, Reeveal. Reeveal. It's Reeveal, Reeveal.ai. And it's the application, the shopping assistant.
Cool. Reeveal.ai with 3 E's total, right?
Exactly. 3 E. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Excellent. Well, check it out. All right, Marie, thank you so much. This is fun. Good luck. Keep using Foundersuite. Appreciate that. And we'll catch you when you raised your first Silicon Valley seed fund or venture fund. How about that?
I hope so. Thank you so much, Nathan, for having me. Thank you.
All right. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. That's all I got. That's all I got for French.
That's perfect.